Mucker in the building.
What's going on?
We got my girl T Marie.
What's up?
What's happening, people? We have some special. Look, we have some special. I say everybody's special, but these are truly some special guests we have in the building. We have Sincere. I'll make sure I say your name right. Nakya Brook. Nakya Brook. I got it right. So look, these are two
Independent.
No, I was gonna go deeper than that.
Okay, my bad.
Because I think when we use words like
but they're still independent artists.
Yeah,
Right?
but
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was gonna go with like legends in the making.
What's
We have two. We have
that's
two
like, yeah, that's all.
in the making, right? And look, I'm gonna give you some history on it. So look, we have two legends in the making that I feel are legends in the making in Louisville's music scene, which actually their music transcends outside of the city of Louisville. But the reason I say legends in the making is just because you guys been putting it down for so long, right? And I came across Sincere back in college.
For sure.
So that's how long it's been.
Hold on. So your college in Louisville or college?
No, college here in Louisville.
Okay.
Look, actually started over at JCC and then over at U of L.
Okay.
Mass communications.
Yeah.
is in our-
You got to go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, we were both communications majors, right? And I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know.
You said college. We didn't know college when you.
Well, you know what? I wasn't a traditional college student. I didn't go at 18, so I had some bumps and bruises. So I made it in around 30 something.
Okay, that's
But I made it in there.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, at the time, I didn't know. I didn't even know Sincere, and I didn't know he did music. And somehow I came across his music. I guess we're talking about in class. At the time, there was a joint out. Let me get it right. I think it was. Look. So was it So Louisville?
Yeah.
Was that the name of So Louisville?
Yes, sir.
So Louisville was a joint that it was a great record, man. It was a great record that it kind of, how a record comes out and then it kind of spans over a few years. That was a record that it didn't do its traditional peak at 90 days or 6 months and then went away. That record kind of stuck around.
Yeah, it's one of them universal joints, man.
It stuck around for a while, man. But I felt like mass appeal, it didn't get the push it needed as the what was the other Louisville record? Louisville, the Get Down.
Yeah, Corey Black and
then Corey Black did one.
Yeah.
But Sincere's record was one of those records. It was not to discredit any of those other artists, but it was one of those records that should have been a really huge record.
Well, it's a story behind that film. Like
Speak on.
I try to appeal to the masses in a way to not just go with the average, rep my hood. I just talk about my neighborhood, but make it with a mass appeal to where, people out in Prospect could rock with that thing too. So it was kind of strategic in how I did it. And I got some help from some of the people over there at B96. I chopped it up, Brother Mark Gunn.
Oh,
he was like, man, you might
shout out Mark Gunn.
Yeah, shout out Mark Gunn. It's like, you might want to diversify that thing. You know what I'm saying? So, make it where you can reach a broader audience. So I said, okay, let me chew on that for a minute. So kind of went back to the drawing board, redirected it, came back. Mayor Fisher, shout out to Mayor Fisher. You know what I'm saying? He was really behind it. We got recognized for our own day.
I remember that.
So Louisville Day. And, it's just, one of those things that we can, is put me on so many platforms. You know what I'm saying? We're working with nonprofit organizations, my music. I don't use no profanity or nothing. I'm trying to gear it up for the youth to give them sight of what you can actually aspire to do using music, because a lot of them love music, but they don't really have the elements, to give them. Like, what's an example of that? So that's why I rock like that.
So it's a big up. So I mean, to say that, so you had the mayor's office behind the music.
Man, it was a big record.
Right.
Man.
So I mean, it had to be for them to get their own day. Mayor Fisher, when he comes to the hood.
Hey, look, and let me tell you this. This was Mayor Fisher during the first term. So he's on term number 3 now.
Okay, so it's a different term. It's a different Mayor Fisher.
No. What I'm telling you is that, look, when you hear him say Mayor Fisher and Mark Gunn, right? How long ago that was? Mark Gunn hasn't been on the air for a while. You know what I mean? So that's why I said legends in the making, because that's how long they've been rocking out with his music.
No doubt, and what I'm saying, it had to be some great music for you to reach Mark Gunn and for him to critique your, for him to critique it. Most people don't get that critique from the radio.
Well, look, it's a record now. It's a record that you can play now. It's a record you can play now, and it doesn't feel like it's an aged record.
I like Louisville. I like Louisville music when people make songs about Louisville, because I feel like anybody on the outside of Louisville, they can get a guide when they listen to the song. You know what I'm saying?
And look, let me get off on a little tangent about that for a minute, right? Because me not traditionally being from here, right? But I've been out here since '96, but not being here originally, right?
Right.
So for people outside of the state of Kentucky, my first thought when I heard, I made the decision I'm gonna move to Kentucky, right, to Louisville. The perception, I'm telling you, is three teeth hillbillies. That's the perception, right? And I was asking people before I came. I was like, "Are there black people in Kentucky?" You know, because I didn't know. That's the perception, right? And then
when they get here, they find that they get their head busted. No.
Hey, but no, look, and this is not a diss to any of these guys that make these records, but as time went on, and I'm living here then, right, and I'm starting to push because I realized there was dope music out here. I'm like, hey, there's a lot of dope artists. So I started pushing music out to people I knew in different states, right?
Right.
At the time, Nakya Brook became super huge. They were like pop icons at the time, right? Mm-hmm. And while I'm trying to push out some of this dope music, the perception through the Nakya Brook video was the hillbilly, the you know what I mean? So people thought that's what Louisville was. People thought when you came to Kentucky, you were going to see horses, buggies, people with no shoes on, and straw hats, right?
I mean, that was a great gimmick, but but
don't disrespect those guys. I'm saying
right.
That was the image.
That was say Nakya Brook is just from Louisville, or from all parts of Kentucky.
No, I just think that was an imaging by the A&R or by whoever.
I mean,
the record label, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that was the direction they decided to go in, and it worked for them. I'm just speaking on the image that it put out
before.
To the black community.
Right.
Yeah, because when it came out, a lot of the city was not behind it.
Is that how it was?
Yeah, they really went platinum like off of kind of like the surrounding counties and so forth and so on.
And they went global.
Shout out to
them.
Brothers. Yeah, shout out to my brothers. I went to WKU with them,
and the music was great.
I got to build with them, but sometimes in this music, man, the marketers behind the scenes, they have a vision, and that's what they try to depict. But it could have been a win-win if possibly they would have maybe reached back and got some guys, in the regards of, okay, this is our aspect, but let me show you another aspect. See, the thing with Louisville, a lot of people, it's the crab in the bucket mentality, and I'd say it with confidence because until people start really changing, but we're starting to see some changes, but until people really, form that cohesion that you need, we're not going to get the looks that we really should be deserving of, so I'm just all about, unity, coming together, forming conglomerate relationships with different labels, different artists, networking, helping each other get ourselves out there. That's really the key, I think.
Now look, during that time, I didn't know this either. During that time, you were working closely with Jay Alexander, the barber, right?
Yeah, that's my guy, Divine,
right? Yeah. And at the time, look, now, is my memory correct? Didn't it used to be called Divine Cuts? Was that him?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Shop, yeah.
I didn't know, I know him now, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't know he was an artist. I just knew him as a barber.
Well, he started out being an artist, in the early 80s. He had a group, him and a producer that we still work with, G Sharp.
Okay.
They had a group, and they did their thing, man. They went up to New York, had competition with the Wu-Tang, all types of stuff.
I heard about all that. I just thought he was a barber. I didn't know.
Well, he managed the first group that I was in called Committee.
Okay.
I was in a group when I first started out. He was actually our manager. It was 5 of us in the group. So from there, we kept our rapport, tight. So as I started moving solo, we chopped it up, from time to time every day. I can call a brother at any time. You know what I'm saying? So
well, look, since you're here, right? Since you're here and you've been in Louisville's music scene for over a decade, right?
Sure.
Maybe 2.
Easy.
So that's because you got the baby face. You look like you're 21, 22 years old, man. So take us back to Louisville music, say, when did you come on the scene? Late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah.
Actually, let's do one better, though. Let's take it back from he started, and then he'll incorporate the late music scene.
That's what I said, late 90s, early 2000s.
But you said the Louisville music scene, we could talk
when
about
he was on it.
Yeah, let's talk about him and the way he developed and things like that.
Man, I started out, over at Too Big Entertainment. Her season was the first guy to ever put me on a record. Actually, I was on his record.
Those 2 brothers you had to close throughout Newburgh.
Shout out her season.
Her season the one that does a lot of fitness stuff now.
No, but I'm saying like the Too Big. Was that like the Two Big clothing dudes and two different people?
No, I don't know about that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We work down off 18th Street.
Okay.
You know, closer, kind of close to the beach. You know, so he had a lot of artists on that label. You know, kind of like a Baby No Limit. You know,
Right.
had Daddy-O, Yellow Boy, Her Season, Chick G Money, Young Sirs. He was producing over there. You know, a couple cats. You know, was really making some waves, but you learn from your experiences. You should anyway. And I was kind of over like a little Tupac Digital Underground situation. I didn't really get to do my thing. You know what I'm saying?
You was dancing and
Yeah, man. I got to go,
Jack.
Jack. Yeah, we got to go, Jack. So,
Yeah.
I moved out, started the committee with my brothers, formed that. We actually threw a shot at Nakya Brook, for the.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we threw a shot at them for
the image?
Yeah, for the image.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm from the city of Ali. So my take on it was, okay, if this is supposed to be the creme de la creme, then we're going to see. You put your money up. You're going to see about that. So, we kind of, went at them a little bit. It didn't really go to where, like, we wind up actually collaborating after that because, like I said, I knew the brothers. You know what I'm saying? It was still music, strictly music. When when I see you, brother, it wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? So
it was strictly on wax.
Yeah, yes, and then we got to hook up with them. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they was kind of like, why are you coming out now? But like I said, I'm from the city of Ali. We just kind of,
we're gonna go with the big dog.
Yeah, what I'm saying? Do our thing, man. See who really owns the crown, But they most definitely did their thing. From there, like I said, we did some collaborations with them. They was on some of the committee's project. Chop It Up with B Still, on the reg. That's my big brother. Shout out to Skinny. Shout out to whole Nakya Brook stuff for it. Because for them to do what they did, really kind of shine a light on Kentucky that we didn't have. And it's a host of other artists. Father Ja, I could go on and on. About the talent that's here. But really, I think it's more so when we really get the idea that we come together. So it's looking at that in hindsight, because hindsight is 2020. I probably wouldn't have, took that shot at them where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? In life, but
early 20s, right? Or your teens?
Yeah, forever, yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
So with the commercial success of Nakya Brook, why do you think that nothing after Nakya Brook really have that much commercial success after them, as far as artists?
Man, it has to do a lot with the powers that be, the gatekeepers. People that are in position to actually make a situation better than what it needs to be, but don't, for whatever reason, selfish reasons, they ain't rocking with cats or whatever it might be, you know what I'm saying? But,
Louisville, Kentucky, do we have gatekeepers here? Do we have?
We most definitely got some people here that could get some stuff going, but it's a lot of people throwing their hands up, I'm bidding, I ain't in it, Nah, bro, you got a position to play, bro. You have empower. You only get empowered to be able to empower. A lot of people don't get that. You don't abuse the power, or you don't, make everybody do what you want them to do for your bidding. Nah, you should shine down. Shine down like you want it done to you. That's what it's about.
All right, so question. When you decided to become an artist, was it a conscious choice for you not to use profanity or not to take the so-called gangster approach? Like for you to become a lyricist, was that how you started, or what point did that come into the game?
Nah, man. Sincere came from a whole different place, man.
You came out hood,
gang banging, all that, bro.
Okay,
I was with that, but God touched my life. You know what I'm saying? So who am I? You know what I'm saying? I got to make some change. I got little kids looking up to me. I got children. You know what I'm saying? I got a gift, and the gift comes from Him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just on the potter's wheel, letting Him do His thing. You know what I'm saying? So as He's molding me into what I am, I'm just, slowly coming into the person that He designed me to be. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't just come overnight, like people would think. You could. My wife would attest to that. People don't really see this vision of this dream. I've had people leave out of my life. You know what I'm saying? Different situations for whatever. But keep on persevering. I'm just blessed enough to have a lady that shares my same passion, shares my same dream. Has aspirations that she has, similar to mine. And God bless us to be together, pushing this thing out, because I can understand what it feels like to be an artist. A lot of people can't, I didn't go to law school, you know what I'm saying? Even with the college, I didn't finish out, you know what I'm saying? Life started hitting, you know what I mean? But, you got to stay 10 toes down, persevere through whatever, so that's where I'm at with it. But, you you go through the things that you go through to be able to help others. So I got a story to tell, like when I go mentor the kids in Minor Daniels, which is formerly known as Beautiful, to give them my story and help them. Man, sincere, man, we rocking with you, man, they show me love, you know what I'm saying? And I love the kids to death too, because I went through them, walked through them hallways, you know what I'm saying? Got kicked out of school for, possession of firearms, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? That when you meet me, you don't know none of that though. You know what I'm saying? You just know sincere from me, man. He's a good dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But so everybody got a story.
I think it's big that these young kids can attach themselves to somebody, because on a daily basis, they might not see people who look like them. So when they do reach somebody who is successful like them, I think it's big that they can attach themselves to them, because the more they see successful people like them, the more successful they want to become.
And they just want to see somebody cares.
Right.
A lot of them, my smile might be the only smile they see, and I went through that, grew up, mom, single parent, you know what I'm saying? Riffing on Pops. Pops wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? Didn't really get to meet my dad. I was 27 years old, you know what I'm saying? How can you know where you're going if you never know when you came? You know what I mean? So that's what it's at.
So the transition begins around, what would you say, what age?
Man, I say,
well, if you don't want to tell your age, about how long?
Tell them age is wisdom.
The birth of my son, that changed a lot of things in my life.
And your son's how old?
Sincere, he's 12. He just turned 12.
Okay.
He had a birthday on December 5th. My daughter Serenity, her birthday is December the 6th. She's 14. So my oldest daughter Dayon, she's 17.
So people, he just has a baby face. He's not a young buck out here.
Man, that's God's blessings, though. You know what I'm saying?
What they say, we don't crack.
Facts.
All right, so music comes along. What year did the So Louisville record come out?
Man, we put that out.
So y'all did it together?
Yes, that's what I'm saying on that song. Yeah.
Shout out to the family.
Yeah, so I
The
think
commission. And they want to call yourself the commission?
hey, we might. I don't know. I don't know. If it ain't famous, it's a scam.
Right.
All right, so look, so and I ask people this to come up here that represent this, right? So you being in the music industry and you being married, that's not an image that we see from a lot of rappers. And it's an image I like to see, because if we're talking about losing a kid, because we all had, well, a lot of us have had the story of single parent, the whole situation, right? And that kind of begins with family.
Facts.
So without, and I'm not saying that divorce might have for some people when they end up in that situation, but when you're starting from a family aspect, it just opens up so much more for a child. You have, things that the mother can contribute, things the father can contribute, and also, I tell people financially, 2 incomes are always better than 1. You know what I'm saying? So it opens up different opportunities for family, right? And we often don't think about that sometimes before we make children. We don't think about what type of environment, especially financial environment, that we're bringing them into. Not that money is everything, but let's just be real. Money opens up greater opportunities. You know what I mean? So shout out to you two for being married. But in hip hop, do you feel that's an image that some people choose not to portray?
I definitely feel it is in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, people we don't even know is married.
Yeah.
He's married for real.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a blessing. I'm sure she has some insight on
Yeah, we about to get to her too, because she already quiet, especially for somebody who had an album release party yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna get into one more thing. How long have you guys been together? Not just married, but just together, period.
Well, I've known my wife since I was what?
Was it always that flirting stuff when y'all was younger and y'all just?
I was always the quiet kid sitting in the back watching everybody mess.
Well, we could tell though, because you quiet right now.
Mess around.
Kind of one of those things that just came back around. It was right. You know what I'm saying?
High school,
Well, we tried it, but it didn't work.
Karate class. I'm gonna go back to karate class.
Damn, was that long?
Yeah.
We got some little basketball type, which is cool though. It's cool because it's authentic. You know what I'm saying? That you got somebody who's been rocking with you for that long.
They say, what if it come back?
It's yours.
I know that's right.
So how long you been married?
We've been married for 5 years, coming up this year.
Okay. And you know what? They say the first 5 years are the hardest 5 years.
Yes.
You make it
You
through
heard from me.
Yes.
So is that what it is?
One of my I say I got a couple of daddies because I had, my daddy, but I had other, my
Shout
best
out
friend's
Pops.
father.
Yeah,
Right.
those two.
But one of them told me, he said, y'all coming up on 5 years this year, y'all gonna have to go out and do some outrageous stuff because a lot of people don't make it.
They say businesses and
so
marriage
5 years
don't make it 5 years.
Yeah, so
It's a process, but with anything that's worth having is to be worked hard for.
it's work.
So look, hard, quite struggle in the first 5 years.
I mean, it's all types of stuff, man.
But, okay, well, look, not none of your personal business, right? But as far as coexisting together, what was one of the things that you guys had to learn to do together to make it?
For me, listen.
Which is difficult for a man.
I mean, but it's
Don't get me in trouble right now.
But it was a process to really, when she listened to me, I need you to listen to me. I'm like, now listen. But to really hear what she's saying, you know what I'm saying, and to really receive it. Sometimes you just gotta shut it up, listen, take it in, soak on it, chew on it, then we can come back. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, that was the hardest thing because, as you can say, I can talk all day. You know what I'm saying? But it's for. It took a time for me to shut up, be silent, hear what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? Really get to understand what she's saying. So that was the hardest thing for me.
So what? Not just hear you, to actually listen to you and understand where you're coming from, right?
I got a question. Speaking of that, when y'all mad at each other and stuff like that, and y'all, obviously y'all perform music together and stuff like that. Do it shows in the music that y'all mad at each other?
Never.
And ain't never.
So it could be a dilemma. You can hit the stage and it's all good, right? So no snickness in the background,
right? You know what I'm saying?
I keep smiling like, oh.
But when we get home,
Soon as I get back in the car, I'm not talking to you no more. Like, but we gotta get this done.
Right.
I won't see it, but I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Or she'll feel it. You know what I'm saying?
So you're professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We striving to be. So, I mean, but the relationship part of it, man, is like I said, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Take the good with the bad. But the good always outweighs it. So you just keep on persevering, just keep on building with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because for this industry, you know what I'm saying, to be a lot of males rocking how they rocking, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for a female to just come in and just be her. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll get your record out, but you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do for the kid? That type of stuff.
Right.
That they deal with. Yeah.
And it's still a learning experience, I would say, for both of us, especially with the album release and everything. Like, we are both artists, but we still see things differently. And another part of listening is, okay, I see your vision. I'm listening to your vision. What can I do to help you execute your vision?
Okay.
Versus putting my vision into your vision, and so it's still work. It's still work, but every day you learn something. So I mean, you just keep it going. You gotta keep it positive, keep it going, keep the communication open, and just keep pushing towards the goal.
I'll say this too, though. To see her put her project together, because R&B is not like hip hop.
Right.
So you do R&B.
Yeah,
Okay.
To see that whole process and what all it takes to go in there, relay your vocals and, you know what I'm saying, stack it up and, take it back home and, change some things and revamp it. If I just go in there, man, I'm ready to kill it. Turn the mic on, let's go.
You want to take Jay?
I can be, you know what I'm saying, but to see her actually, and her body of work, man, I'm telling you, this album that she put out, man, it's a classic. She put her heart and soul into that thing, dedicated to her grandmother. She was killed in an accident on the 13th. So it was very special to her. So as we moved toward
your grandmother.
Yeah, as we moved toward that date, when things started going awry, just to kind of support her, like, man, it's gonna be all right, just push through it, Even when she didn't want to, she pushed through it. Man, I'm telling you, that thing is hot, you know what I'm saying? For real.
So musical influences. I mean, I know you're a rapper and shit. Well, I'm not gonna box y'all and y'all artists. So what was y'all musical influences coming up?
I'll let you go ahead. Go ahead. Bust it down for
Crazy. Okay, so it's R&B, like definitely the greatest. I love Shaka Khan.
Okay.
I love Anita Baker. I love all
I love old school.
I love old school.
Okay.
I love old school. But I also love Erykah Badu.
That's my girl.
Lauryn Hill. I love Rio. I even love Mariah Carey, even though I don't know what she's going through right now. Back in the day, she was hitting.
Is she tripping right now?
I don't know what she.
I was talking about music.
Right, music, period. But I mean, I loved her back in the day when she first came out. You know,
I put out some joints back in the day.
Yeah.
I hope her first
back to back.
her first couple of joints though.
She was definitely killing.
It was. You can definitely tell she blew in first couple of joints. I think when she started trying to change the style, it took away from her musical genius.
See, I like the hip hop Mariah more than I like the Vision of Love Mariah.
Man, that Vision of Love.
Yeah.
I like the Mariah.
See, I mean, because I play
Good old crooning sometimes.
That's cool and all, but you know, I like the
Heartbreaker and all those.
I like the Whitney Mariah. I like when they was competing to see who could really
I
blow
like
and
Mariah
stuff.
you like big hair Mariah.
I mean, I like the real singer Mariah. You know what I'm saying? That's the one I like. I like the
She
real.
looking like Michael Bolton.
Well, she could look like her vocals. I mean, they was comparing her vocals to Whitney Houston at that
They
time.
did.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you compare yourself to, because I always say Whitney probably be the greatest female artist of all time. And, you know, I say Michael for male. But, you know what I'm saying? Everybody have their opinion. But I think when you hear
Male who?
Michael.
Jackson?
Yeah.
I can see people saying that. I say performer. I don't know about artist though. But
Man, when you hear Mike, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. When you hear Michael, everybody stop and listen to Michael. You know what I'm saying? When you hear Whitney, like, you know what I'm saying, everybody stop and listen to Whitney. I don't know about it. You ain't even from Louisville, so
I seen Mike Jack live, man. I seen the people passing out.
Great performer.
Passing out, man.
See, that's big because I'm like mad at myself because I never got to see Michael. You know what I'm saying? You know, Prince. Right.
Look, Prince came here.
Right.
Tickets sold out in 4 minutes, man. I got online and tried to buy a ticket.
He did 3 shows.
Minutes.
He did 3
All
shows.
of them.
All of them sold out.
All of them.
So how many Shorty My Beyonce songs y'all got together?
For the Bonnie and Clyde records.
Yeah, I mean Bonnie and Clyde, Jay-Z, Beyonce records y'all got.
Man, we definitely got some joints, man. But what I had to understand too, you know what I'm saying? Like, wife is in her own lane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in my own lane. We can collaborate. We got some heat. You know what I'm saying? But to really just see her really come into herself as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's been like the dopest thing for me. You know
How long you been doing music, wifey?
I've been singing all my life, but singing in church and
going
into the actual studio is a little bit different. So
look, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Can you blow something real quick? Are you comfortable?
Not right.
Are you comfortable?
Not right now. We can let it warm up a little bit.
Right? I can do it.
Let's do it. Let's give us something. Let's give us something. Have to be much. It can be.
They was ready for this because he already got the playlist ready.
Can tell they worked
right. He's like, hey, you must see Brad. You must see our previous show with Brad. Put somebody else on the spot. He's like, okay, yeah, we got this. We're gonna be ready for that.
On which all my blessings flow. I'm saying.
Is this one of the new joints?
Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to speak victory during the test. And no matter how you feel, speak a word, you will be healed. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord.
Oh, wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that.
Yes.
Oh.
All my blessings flow from which all my blessings.
So hold on.
So I started in church.
I can
Yeah,
tell.
I'm saying,
We
we
can
can hear the church.
influence.
Yeah, we could definitely hear plantation coming out a little bit. And
I didn't expect that big of a
you
voice.
do the lip too. You do the plantation lip.
Let's talk about our lips.
What's the lady?
That's how you know you're feeling it. Lips start shaking.
Rochelle for real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Plus you can hear that old school.
My mama told me if you ain't making some faces when you sing, you ain't singing nothing. You don't have to make some faces.
Grabbing to earn your music.
So wait a minute. So you
all of that.
So you had an album release party last night at Virtue.
Yes.
So the album is entitled
My Life, My Story.
My Life, My Story. How many tracks?
11 tracks.
11 tracks.
11 tracks.
Is it available now on streaming
It
platforms?
is not available quite yet. It's going to be available next Friday on all digital platforms. Yes, it's available next Friday on all digital platforms. So I'm in the process of getting everything. I'm waiting for inspection, all that stuff, all the good stuff to come through. Had a little snafu, but it's going to be available next Friday.
It's all good. It's all good.
So My Life, My Story. Is this your debut?
Yes.
I figured because a lot of people on their debut, they pour out who they are on their debut album.
Yes.
So your debut album, My Life, My Story, means. Walk us through these tracks.
All right. So we've done a lot in the city, but I've been singing my whole life. I've done a lot, churches around the city, multiple events around the city, just like coming up as artists, just going out doing things, but never really taking the time. Sometimes most of the time it's a lot of covers, So this album, you really, really get to know me. On this album, you get to know some of the situations I've been through, like people that meet me and they see me, and I always try to keep a smile on my face. But you listen to this album and you're gonna hear some real life situations because I've gone through a lot of stuff. But with everything that I've gone through, I feel like it's for me to go through it and show somebody else how to get through it. So this is mainly where that album is coming from. Like he said, my grandmother passed 2 years ago, December 13th. I had another cousin that was killed earlier this year, and it kind of like put a fire in me. And I did the album in dedication to my grandmother because that lady right there, when I say an angel on this earth, like God knew what he was doing when he made her. Like, the epitome of kindness.
So was she community mom? But she never met a stranger?
She, not even so much that, but just her spirit.
Okay.
My whole life, and I'm in my 30s, so I won't give my full age away, but my whole life I never heard her yell, never heard her raise her voice. Always had a smile on her face. Like you said, you talk to people, talk to anybody, like the epitome of kindness. And when I lost her, or when we lost her, when she gained her wings, it was a trying time for everyone. But that's what she wanted me to do. She knew my passion, knew me more than I probably know myself, but knew my passion, know my gift. But that's what she wanted me to do. So that's another reason why I said, okay, I have to do this. Like, I'm sitting on this talent, I can't keep just going around the city singing.
That's what I was about to
like,
ask, because you seem like you real quiet and shy. So I'm just saying, my observation of you, like more of an introvert. So how is it that putting your music out and stuff like that, is it a conflict?
It was a process. It was really a process. I had some talks with God about this because I'm like, you really want me to say this? This is really what you want me to say? There's one on there in specific. It's called Life Goes On. And that track, when I sat down and I wrote it.
So you write all your music? You write all your music?
I do write. I won't say I wrote everything on the album. Because my family is very musically inclined. Like I have family that do music. I have my cousins actually featured on the track Life Goes On. He writes. bomb producer. Like he does
Shout out Phoenix.
everything. Jay Phoenix.
Okay.
If you don't know him, search him. He's dope. Like he's killing. But also work in collaboration with some other people. But I did write a large majority of the tracks that are on the album. But this specific track that I'm talking about, it was very different. I'm gonna say this. I rapped.
Okay.
I had a whole verse, and it kind of came to me. And when it came to me, I was just like, okay, where'd that come from? After I wrote it, I did it for him, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna sound because I am not a rapper.
I was
But
like,
I'm like,
See, that's why I'm about
you
to
have
ask
to
you.
say it just like this.
Because when she was saying, I see you in the back, like, it's my baby. You know what I'm saying? So I was going to ask you that. How does it?
So did the verse stay on? Did it make the cut?
Yes, it made the cut.
Okay.
It's definitely on there. But I said that to say, like, I am not like a person that's just gonna tell all my business.
Right.
But like I said before, there are some things that people need to hear. There are some things that somebody might need to hear to get to their next level. So who am I to hold it back?
And you know what? That's a good thing too, because you know what happens, like with people like yourselves, like both you two being artists, or even us here on the other side of the mic, that when you have a public persona or a public image, right? Even if you're doing well in the community, people don't know you go through, like we be going through stuff. You know what I mean? So like,
yes, life hits.
yeah, and people might think your life is perfect, but you going through
Life
some of the
is
same
hard.
things that everybody else is doing.
There come a time the struggle come up on this like,
Yes.
all my life.
right? I swear to God, you're like, man.
Yeah.
So what's next for the commission? You know what I'm saying? What's next for the flat?
The commission.
So, when was your you just recently put out an album too, also, correct? If I'm not
Yeah, I
mistaken.
did. I got to get with Mr. Gil Holland. Shout out to Gil Holland. He ran for Lieutenant Governor. He didn't win though, but he did his thing, man, and real good dude. You know what I'm saying? Doing a lot of revitalization throughout the city. Shout out to Mr. Gil Holland, Sona Blast Records. I put out the project last year, and really it's just been, like I said, gearing up for my next release. But in the midst of it, having to kind of step back and like, okay, wife wants to do her thing. I'm supporting that, you know what I'm saying? And kind of supporting each other on that. So, you know, I'm ready, she's ready, we ready. We stay ready.
Geared up, ready to go.
We ready, you know what I'm saying? So with the second release, I released the Book of David. I believe that's what I'm gonna title it. And it's gonna be like a trilogy, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a 3-piece LP.
So the Book of David being a play on spirituality, and is your name David?
Oh yeah, that's my birthday.
Right. So
So
play on both things. So we got a couple minutes, man. We got to wrap this thing up in a few minutes. But I have another question. Ms. Brooke, being that you two are spiritual and your husband's music is doesn't use any profanities, and that's the approach, right? Is that the same approach with your R&B? Or do you do, you know, kind of the other day? Do you do any sexual R&B or raunchy R&B or what?
I am human.
Okay. Speak
And I'm
on.
a woman.
Well, that answer.
So, I try to do things decent and in order, but sometimes some things can't be said in certain manners. So sometimes
Understood.
you gotta let it out. Sometimes you gotta let that thing go. I don't have a lot of profanity or a lot of provocative stuff on. I have some sensual tracks on the album. But like I said, I'm human. We all mess up. We all make mistakes. I'm striving to be better than I was yesterday, than I was just even 10 seconds ago. But we see things a little bit differently in that aspect. Sometimes I might just have to cuss. Sometimes I just gotta let that cuss word go.
Definitely.
Sometimes,
Swear to God.
sometimes you have to let that
And
cuss
look,
word
this
go.
is interesting because I was watching an interview with I don't know if you're familiar. You may be since you're a little bit, but there's a you're familiar with KRS-One, right?
oh yeah.
Okay, so when I was a teen, way back when, when I was a teen, KRS-One's DJ Skylar Rock was murdered, and he was his DJ, so he kind of had a legacy as DJ Skylar Rock.
Right.
Well, now his son, I guess he grew up in poverty in the Bronx, and I guess he feels like KRS didn't look out for him, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
But now he's doing community work. So he's kind of, I get his position, but he kind of comes off as having a chip on his shoulder. And I don't know his story, so I can probably understand why. You know, there may be a reason why he has a chip, but he has a chip.
Right.
So his thing is that I was watching an interview the other day, and he feels like some of the new artists, like Cardi B and other artists, and Meg Thee Stallion, that they're look. So let me give you his not a direct quote, but let me summarize it for you. So he was saying that, you know, when he was younger, we had Lauryn Hill, we had these different artists, and now we have Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion and artists like that. And he feels like the industry is intentionally dumbing down the audience, right? Yeah. So then I was hoping he would respond to the comments. I had to jump in. I'm like, brother, I feel your pain, right? But this isn't new. They were saying that about Lil Kim and Foxy 20 years ago.
Right.
Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B are not the first people to come into the industry that way. And then sometimes we forget, when we get older, we'll look back and we'll look at the high points. Like we'll look at the Lauryn Hills or whatever, but we had everything else then too. You know what I mean?
But that's the difference, though.
We just commonly forget.
Yeah, but that's the difference, though. In my opinion, that's the difference, because we had different genres, different, like for every Lil Kim we had Lauryn, for every, you know what I'm saying? Now you just getting one side of it, and you know what I'm saying? With the help of Miss Brooks, you know, she gonna bring R&B back. Let's get now.
But I disagree, right?
I
think because
like Summer Walker.
Look,
like. There are some good R&B artists out right now.
Look, I think we have.
Focus not on love like it used to be.
I think we have more.
That's why it's
you don't get no good. Ain't too many good feel good Marvin Gaye tracks like.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's always like a hip hop type vibe to it. You got no Teddy P coming out. Oh, you know.
Look, I think, but you know what? I think we do though. Look, I think we do. I just don't think it's promoted by the record companies in mainstream America. Like if you get online or you look at, you know, there's people out there that have that type of music. Right there. You said but the mainstream is choosing to only, I guess, go where the dollars are at, where they can put the dollars at and promote a certain type. But there are artists out there like online that make great music that people need to.
They're just not promoted as much, and they're not in the limelight. Everybody else that sound the same. That's what they go.
So I guess my question is this. My question is this when I ask people.
You still got a question?
Yeah, no. Look. My question is this, right? So we are now all aware of what the powers that be do. We're aware of that, right? If they can push $1, they're going to promote, especially when it comes to our community. They might not do their own, but in our community, they'll promote ours, right? So we know this happening, right? So do we continue to place all the blame on the companies, or do we at times put the blame on ourselves when we know other content exists out there and we don't go and search for it? Are we choosing to go for the dummy bag now? You know, we know it's over here.
It is a conscious
now
choice.
We're choosing. Are we choosing to go for it?
It's definitely a conscious choice, because I don't even listen to like a lot of the music that they play on the radio and stuff like that. And like he'll come in and he'll play. I'm like, who are you listening to? Like that new song with Chance the Rapper. Hot water, hot shot.
I've heard.
And I like Chance the Rapper, but I'm like, who is that? Are you serious?
It was
like,
I don't know.
No, I don't like that.
That's the kids are
no. And the kids, the kids, they love this stuff. But
Doja
there are still good artists, like you said. And if you don't search for them, you'll never know they exist.
And sometimes we can make them big, right? So
yes,
that's what I was about to say. Then when you get that machine behind it.
But let me tell you this: like I watched, and I don't like the music. So when I say this, don't think I like the music, because I don't. Yeah. But I watched. No, being online, right? I watched the rise of Lil Yachty, right? So it was just one day I'm on SoundCloud, and I can't remember who it was, but there was somebody popular, maybe a Kylie Jenner or somebody. They did a Snapchat video or Instagram video to this Lil Yachty song in the background. It had been on his SoundCloud for months with 1,000 plays, right? And they did, this popular person did an Instagram. It was Instagram or Snapchat. They did it and it went viral. And then immediately people went to the SoundCloud, and that was the blow up of Lil Yachty. So I'm like, all the time it doesn't take the industry to make you hot. Sometimes the people can make you hot by simply choosing you or causing you to go viral. We don't often do that until until somebody else says, "Hey, check this out over here, it's hot." Then we jump behind it and like, "Oh, that is a dope record." Like if someone, like if Jay-Z did just jumped out and did a which he doesn't get on social media, but if he did a social media post and said, "Check out Sincere's album," the entire city of Louisville will be like, "Sincere's a dope artist." They'll come to your music now because not saying it's not dope. Yeah, but I'm saying it's crazy that someone can have something great. Yeah, someone can have something great, but people don't even want to choose it until someone else that they feel has a status says, "Oh, this is great music."
That's all right. We got room on that bandwagon. Come on with it.
All right, man. We got to get out of here. Before we roll, man, give us all your streaming platforms, your social media. Tell us what's going on with you, where people can reach you.
Nakya Brook on Facebook, Twitter. I am Nakya Brook on Instagram. My Life, My Story album dropping next Friday, December the 20th on all digital platforms.
But we got them units like Master P at the trunk if y'all need to holler at us.
Yeah,
I know I see you. Hey, ask where it said, I got you.
Hey, I'm glad. Was it supposed to drop yesterday? Yep,
it was supposed to drop yesterday.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you. Let me give you a blessing.
Learn
right?
the process, Lord.
But listen, it might be a blessing, right? Let me tell you. Let me give you this quick story before we get out of here.
Okay.
I am the least superstitious person on this planet. Right? I don't believe in superstitions, right? So yesterday morning, it's 8 o'clock. I'm out doing my 9 to 5. I'm rolling around. I jump out the car, and phone in hand, and a couple papers for work in my hand. So I get out. Phone slips out of my hand, right? I don't care. This case is great. I've dropped it a million times. It's fine, right? This time it falls face down, but it falls face down all the time. No problem, right? So I grab it, pick it up, not tripping about it, whatever. So I turn it over and I look on the ground. This time it happened to fall on a pointy rock. 3 of them. It fell on the rock and shattered the screen, right? 8 o'clock in the morning. So I looked at the phone and I said, "It's Friday the 13th." It's Friday the 13th. And my day is done. So I jumped in. Me and my kids have a group chat. So I jumped in the group chat and I told her what happened. My daughter, "Don't bring that mojo into this chat. We don't want none of that energy today." And I'm like, I cracked my phone at 8 a.m., but I was mad for like 60 seconds. I said, "You know what? Well, I can be upset, but at least I gotta look." But I'm like, at least I looked at it and said, "At least I can buy another phone." Because there's been times when if this would have happened some years ago or a certain period of time, like
that screen would have been cracked.
Right. Yeah, right.
Look, don't rub on the glass part.
Right. So I said, instead of being angry, let me count my blessings. You know what I mean? And be like, just be fortunate enough that you can get it fixed. Yeah. And keep it moving. So I'm like, it may be a blessing it didn't drop on Friday the 13th. Well, that may have been part of the struggle.
It is actually, if you go on CD Baby right now, you can sell. It's on sale on CD Baby, but it just hasn't reached all the rest of the platforms. It's still going through that process. So, it is available on CD Baby. So if you guys want to check out the album on CD Baby, Nakya Brook, Nakya Brook. My Life, My Story.
Oh, no S on the Brook?
No S on the Brook.
Okay,
Brook.
Explain this to me though. We gotta get out of there because I'm confused because I don't really know. Okay, when your music is on streaming platforms, right? So I guess so many streams are equivalent to a record sale or something, right? But people can still also purchase as well.
You can purchase it by the single. You can listen to the previews if there's a specific single that you know you want and you don't want to buy the whole album. You can purchase it by the single. The album is $10, single is 99¢. Like you can purchase it either way.
So when people purchase, I guess that downloads it to your device right then, and you keep it forever instead of just streaming it. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you might, a lot of people use the depending on the service. The streaming is included within a service package. So
like Apple, I
Spotify,
can download the music. I don't have to keep it, but it'll be in my, my library and stuff like that. And I can always listen to it or whatever. Okay. As long as I got that Apple subscription.
So you got Apple Music?
Yeah, I got Apple.
With your Rockefeller hat on, right?
Hey,
Rock Nation hat on. With your Rock Nation hat on.
I was mad at Jay-Z. I'm not gonna lie about that NFL deal but he's still a black-owned business,
right?
So I still gonna support.
Paying the most.
Yeah. So I'm still gonna support. Black-owned businesses, no doubt. Just like black-owned artists, just like I support you. No.
We gotta wrap it up, man. Sincere, Nakya Brook,
Yeah.
no S.
No.
The commissioner.
The commission. Urban Voices Radio. Check us out every Saturday afternoon, 106.3 people. And we out of here.
We out. Hey, you know what though? We gotta turn out.